So welcome to Give SI 2025, our day of giving. And now we are with Tony Eaton from Down the Leash Service Dogs. So Tony, tell us a little bit about your nonprofit.
So we're actually a suicide prevention group, and the way that we achieve that is through giving a veteran a sense of mission. And what we actually do is we train veterans how to train their own service animals, and we do that absolutely free to them. So they get their training, they get their equipment, and any other classroom items that they may need. We put them into the class. We train one day a week for a couple hours, and then they get homework for the week, and then they have to report back to me each week with that homework. So they can't use the excuse, my dog ate the homework, even though I did have one that did that once, and the dog really did eat the homework. So, so we just basically, we give the veteran a sense of mission, and that mission becomes their dog and their dog's training.
Yeah, and so of course you're focused here in Southern Illinois. Is it just Southern Illinois, or how far out are you serving veterans?
So we serve veterans as far as they want to drive in to see us. We have a veteran that just started with us that is, he is about 30 minutes outside of Cape Girardeau. Cape Girardeau. And he is, I can't think of the name of the town. He's in Missouri, but he comes in every Sunday, and I told him, I says, that's a long drive, but he said the program is well worth it for him. And that really means a lot to me, because that just speaks to what we're actually doing and how effective that we have been with these veterans.
Yeah, and so can you kind of expand on that? Like what is that impact on the community,
So with veterans, there's an epidemic of veteran suicide that's going on, and I think I can call it that. The numbers that they say of veterans that unfortunately end their life is about 22 per day, and that number does fluctuate. Yeah. One is unacceptable to me, right. And that's kind of how what we really are all about. I had a veteran that came to me that was in a really, really bad way before we started this program. And actually, it was his wife that came to me and wanted to know how to get a service dog. She saw my service dog, and I don't think you can see him on camera, but he's down here at my feet. Yeah. And wanted to know how she could go about getting a service dog for her husband. And we tried to help find him a place. This is, like I said before, we started our program. And finally, after striking out with a couple places, I told the guy, I says, hey, listen, I'll help you train your dog. And so that's really how we were born. And it was out of, just a dire need to help this veteran right where he was at. Right. And it has been amazing, the impact that Down the Leash Service Dogs has actually had on our veterans locally and even further away. I get veterans that call me from all over the country, actually. They see our website, or they go through the VA, and we're on the VA's website. And we try to help them, if we know of another dog trainer in another state, that they may be in, we try and help them find them. But the great thing with Down the Leash Service Dogs is we are really growing, and we are actually getting ready to start a second location in Pensacola, Florida.
Oh, wow.
So I had a vet that came into our program, and she really benefited from what we were doing. And so much so that when she graduated, she moved to Florida. She calls me one day and says, hey, I've got veterans coming to me left and right. She says, I want to start something here. Yeah. And I said, that's great. I'll help you to do this. Because that was like our plan in the very beginning, was to help any vet that wanted to be able to start the same program that we've done in another state. And I says, well, that'd be great. What do you want to call it? And she goes, well, Down the Leash Service Dogs, of course. So I ended up talking with our attorney to make sure that it was legal to do that, since we are a 501c3. Yeah. And it is. And we were able to open our first chapter. Well, they would be our second chapter because we're the first here. That's right. So we'll have Pensacola, Florida chapter starting up very soon. So after the first of the year, I'll be traveling down there to help get that facilitated and make sure she's got everything she needs. needs, and we'll get that ball rolling.
Yeah, and so for part of Give SI, we're going to set a goal, and so that goal, well, first of all, what is that goal, I guess, that you're setting this year?
Well, my president said it. I think it was $30,000. I think is what she had put. $30,000 actually helps pay for one of these dogs. Now, mind you, Myram, each one of these dogs that comes through our program, they range anywhere between $25,000 and $40,000 to train these dogs, depending on what we are training them for. Unfortunately, the VA does not cover the cost of service animals. They do cover other costs with our animals, but they don't cover the actual service dog itself. And that's where we come in. And, when I started this program, I started it out of my life savings. I dumped everything I had into this because I believed in it so much. And we have been truly blessed to get the funding that we needed through the years, and Give SI has been a very big help to us. The money that we raise goes towards training these dogs. Now, mind you, I have about 20 dogs on my roster right now. So do the math. 20 times. We'll just go 25,000.
Yeah, if you had to go and do it on their own,
that's right.
Pay someone else to do it. So by getting the vets involved, and that obviously helps cut down on a lot of costs. But obviously it still takes a lot to run a program. So.
Oh yeah. Well, people don't see the other stuff. They just see that we're getting together and we're training dogs. Well, I have to train these dogs. I don't have a trainer. If I were to hire a trainer, we probably couldn't do this. It would be so expensive. So. Not only that, but we have our rent that we have to pay. We have, our insurances that we've got to pay. And something else that we do that I didn't say in the beginning is when we get veterans that come through the program and they fall on hard times, say they need groceries. Well, by gosh, I'm going to get them groceries if I can do it. We have given, a couple gift cards, things like that. We've had some that needed to pay their mortgage but couldn't. They had kind of money ran tight, and if we're able to do it, we do it. We actually budget for that. So we've got a benevolence fund that we actually do for that. We help them with, any kind of bill. Something else that we also do is there's other types of things that they can do, like with counseling and that the VA may not cover, like neurofeedback. I'm set up with a counseling service that actually does neurofeedback, and if I have a vet that wants to do that, and the VA doesn't pay for it, we will pay for it for them. Because I believe that they need to get all the help they can get. And if we can afford it, we will continue to do that. So that's where this money goes. Yeah,
and I've heard you at other times and it kind of opened my eyes to it as well. It's like, it's not just train a dog, it's train the handler, train the vet, right? Because if you've got to, both of them have to learn how to work together so that they, I guess, is that kind of how is that part of why it's magic? Because the vet needs the dog needs the vet, and
I wouldn't say magic, but
well, I mean, there's something, something special.
Our motto is that training is 10% the dog and 90% the handler. Yeah. So when you give them that mission, that mission based, the dog does it. The dog they're pros. They do it on their own, It doesn't take much, but it does take a very strong leader. Leadership is a huge thing that we train in our program as well. Yeah. A lot of times, what I couldn't understand, with me being in the military is, when I was 17 years old, I signed up and was willing to go fight for my country and willing to give my life if I had to. Yeah. At 17, I wasn't scared of anything. But when I got out and did life and got older, it was like something was missing. There was something that was holding me back. I was starting to get to where I didn't want to go into crowds anymore. I didn't want to be around people. And the PTSD that I suffer from got worse and worse the older I got, because I really didn't get any help for it. Yeah. And so what we do is, the dog is not the cure-all, fix-all. The dog just is another tool to put in your tool belt to be able to gain your life back. And that's what we're really trying to do is give our veterans their lives back. I want them to be that fearless individual that they were when they signed that paper, joining whatever service it was. And so watching these guys and gals really come back and take their lives back is so amazing to witness firsthand for me. It's like, wow, this is really happening, you know. Yeah. And the cool thing is it's not just the vets that are getting healed, it's their families too. So we also include their spouses, their children, sometimes their mothers, their fathers, you know. I tell them, I'm like, I want them to be involved as much in this process as you are, mainly because, God forbid, if something happened and that vet has to take an ambulance ride or a helicopter ride because of a medical emergency, who's going to handle the dog?
Yeah.
They can always call me, but I may not always be around to be able to do that for them. So their immediate family is the one that actually picks up the slack there, and they can handle the dog and be able to maneuver the hospitals with the dog. They know and know how to control that dog. And it really truly is healing with the whole family. I mean, man, I got the greatest job in the world. That's what I tell my students, and I hate to call them students. They're my family, you know. They really are. So, it's just an amazing thing. I mean, you know, I could never have imagined us getting to where we are. You know, in 3 years' time, we have helped over 60 veterans in our area, and we have given away close to probably actually now over $500,000 worth of training and equipment and you know, and services. So I want to be able to give away that $1 million marker within the next 2 years. So that's my goal.
Yeah, I don't think you'll have any trouble getting to that because the need is there, and we're talking about the whole family, and that's why. I mean, you know, when you talk about it's not just a dog, it's not just send them to training and magic happens that way. It's because you're building a family, you're rebuilding all of that trust in the family, and another part that I love, and we could sit here and talk for a very long time, but because you're also I'm the community, you know, the community foundation. So the word community means so much to me. And you are in a community of veterans and other groups that you do work together. And so we won't go into it, but I know recently we've had some really cool interactions where the way that you're serving veterans and other groups are serving and how those have come together. And that's inspiring to me because that shows a lot of what I want to see in the nonprofit world is that we don't all have to solve every problem, but we can work with these other groups and help solve bigger problems together. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited about your goals and seeing how far you've come. And so now we're asking, you know, the donors to reach out. So if you go to givesi.org or if you follow the link that'll be posted with this video, then you can donate to Down the Leash and help them achieve their mission and support the community, support veterans, and get that training to happen. So thank you, Tony, for the time today. We appreciate it. Give SI for good forever for Southern Illinois.
Give SI is made possible by Oasis. We More Better. Video services provided by Men Voice. Additional funding for Give SI is made possible by these sponsors.